Okay, let's unpack this. Globally, we're seeing this really significant shift, right? Aging populations.
Hmm.
And Japan, well, Japan gives us a pretty stark example.
It really does. Their declining birth rate is creating some serious demographic pressure.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking at almost a 10% drop in their working age population,
Hmm.
15 to 64, just in the next 10 years.
Think about what that means for elder care. Huge implications.
Absolutely. And for enabling people to keep living independently, it's not just Japan, this has relevance everywhere.
And that pressure, that's what's really pushing innovation here. Artificial intelligence is, it's emerging as this potentially vital tool.
Right. Not necessarily to replace people, but to support them.
Exactly, to bolster independence, safety, overall well-being for older adults. And
Mhm.
there's a whole fascinating range of AI solutions being looked at.
For sure. So for this deep dive, we've pulled together a few different sources to try to get a well-rounded picture.
Good approach. What have we got?
Okay, first up, there's a Reuters video report.
Hmm.
It's from Japan, looking at their push to get AI robots into elderly care facilities.
Ah, yes, that makes sense given their situation.
Yeah, they featured a specific robot, the Hope Air, developed at Waseda University. It's designed for physical help, lifting, moving.
Those physically demanding tasks.
Exactly. And the report also covered trials of other smart devices in Tokyo care homes. We heard from researchers, staff,
And a resident, too, I believe.
yeah, and a resident. Give a real ground level view.
Well, Japan is definitely at the forefront here, dealing with these shifts first. So seeing them develop things like Hope Air, often with government backing, it shows a serious commitment.
A commitment to finding AI solutions for that caregiver shortage.
Right. But the report also brought up some complexities, didn't it? Like the care worker worrying about replicating human warmth.
hmm That came through. And the resident who felt maybe it was still too early for this kind of tech.
Yeah, highlights that introducing technology into such, well, personal care isn't straightforward.
Definitely not. Okay, so next we looked at a video from a company called Home Cycle AI.
Home cycle AI, right.
They were showcasing their Life Aid AI system. It's basically an intelligent monitoring system.
Aimed at seniors living on their own.
Exactly. Packed with features, things like reminders for appointments, medications,
Standard helpful stuff.
yeah, but also emergency alerts, integration with electronic health records, telehealth access,
So connecting directly into the healthcare system.
right, virtual healthcare consults, even cognitive assessments. Oh, and it links with health apps,
Yep.
allows video calls.
Keeping them connected.
And this is interesting, physical therapy guided by augmented reality.
Wow. ARPT, like virtual instructions overlaid on your view?
Yeah, I think like through a tablet maybe. And they also talked a lot about the potential upsides financially and societally.
Such as?
Lower hospitalization costs, delaying the need for assisted living, that kind of thing.
Okay, so if you connect that to the bigger picture,
Yeah.
systems like LifeAid AI, they kind of represent a shift towards proactive elder care, don't they?
Yeah, that seems right. Less reactive.
Instead of just responding to falls or emergencies, these AI tools are trying to prevent them through monitoring, spotting health issues early, helping with medication adherence,
Makes sense.
and those potential financial benefits they mentioned, like, what was it, $1.3 trillion in annual savings?
Yeah, an estimated figure based on early detection and medication adherence. It's a huge number.
It really is. And the idea of extending independent living by potentially up to 5 years, that could have a massive effect on healthcare systems, Social Security, Medicaid, globally.
It really could.
Yeah.
Although you do wonder about the assumptions behind that trillion-dollar figure.
That's a fair point. It would be interesting to know more about how they calculated that. Needs scrutiny.
Definitely something to keep in mind. Okay, moving on. We also had an ABC 11 News report from North Carolina.
Right, different angle here.
Yeah, this is about a company using AI in a really engaging way, helping older patients with creative expression.
Creative expression, how so?
They've got software that takes, like, simple doodles or drawings
Mm-hmm.
and transforms them into more polished, higher resolution art.
Oh, that's fascinating. Kind of like an artistic assistant.
Exactly. And apparently it's been really beneficial for people with dementia. They mentioned one woman, Lisa White.
Ah, okay. Supporting cognitive and emotional well-being, then.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
And what was also neat was hearing how they're actively involving older adults in developing the tech.
That's crucial. Co-design.
Yeah. Oh, and they also have this affiliated program connecting college students with seniors as caregivers.
That's a nice touch, combining tech with human connection.
For sure.
This example really shows another side of AI's potential beyond just physical care or monitoring, that focus on cognitive and emotional health.
Right.
For people with dementia, finding ways to engage creativity can be so powerful, really therapeutic.
Uh,
And the fact they're bringing older adults into the design process, that's key. It helps make sure that tech isn't just functional, but actually, meaningful, tailored to their needs.
Good point. Otherwise, it might just sit on a shelf.
Exactly. And that caregiver program linking students and seniors, it underscores that we probably need both tech solutions and that intergenerational human connection.
Yeah, it's not an either. I wonder, though, how does creating AI-assisted art feel different for someone with dementia compared to, say, traditional art therapy?
That's a really interesting question to think about. Does it empower them differently? Or feel less authentic, worth exploring?
Definitely. Okay, and then finally, we had a personal account video. This was someone discussing how AI can empower older individuals to stay independent.
Bringing it down to the individual experience.
Yeah, talking about tackling challenges like mobility issues, loneliness, health worries.
Common concerns.
Right. And they gave examples of different AI applications, smart home devices doing med reminders or fall detection.
Yep.
Health monitoring systems, virtual assistants, providing maybe a bit of companionship or help.
Got it. Practical stuff.
And they shared two specific anonymized stories. One was an elderly woman dealing with cognitive decline, the other an 85-year-old man with mobility problems.
And AI was helping both of them?
Yeah, apparently making a significant difference in their ability to manage daily life.
That personal account really grounds all these sort of abstract ideas in reality.
Yeah, it makes it more tangible.
Hearing specific examples, someone managing their meds better despite cognitive issues thanks to a reminder, or someone with limited mobility getting help with tasks, it just underscores the potential these tools have to empower people.
Right.
It really reinforces this idea that AI can be a key piece in promoting autonomy and, frankly, maintaining dignity as we get older.
So when we piece all these sources together,
Yeah.
it seems pretty clear that AI is becoming a really significant factor in elderly care.
No doubt about it. We're definitely seeing it explored hard as a way to tackle that growing shortage of human caregivers.
Particularly in places like Japan, as we saw, with robots like Hope Air maybe helping with the really physical stuff.
But what's interesting is this kind of dual approach emerging, isn't it?
I mean,
Well, on one hand, you have the physical robots for direct assistance, like Hope Air. And on the other, you have the growth of these AI monitoring systems, like Life Aid AI, focused on boosting independence for seniors still in their own homes.
right, the monitoring and support systems.
Yeah, offering that whole range of features, proactive health management, safety alerts, social connections.
And potentially leading to those big cost savings and, maybe more importantly, better quality of life.
Exactly.
And importantly, it's not just about the physical or practical side, that North Carolina example.
The art creation software.
Yeah, it reminds us that AI can also support cognitive health, emotional well-being. It can foster creativity, connection, especially for people facing challenges like dementia.
And that point about involving the elderly in the design process, absolutely crucial. Making sure the technology actually serves their needs and enhances their lives in ways they value.
Couldn't agree more.
And then if you broaden the view even more, just think about the range of AI applications already out there. Simple, smart home devices giving reminders.
Things many of us already use.
Right. To more complex health monitoring systems, virtual assistants offering a bit of companionship or answering questions. AI is already making a real, tangible difference for many older adults.
Automating some tasks, providing those vital health alerts, maybe helping fight isolation by making it easier to connect with family. Here's where it gets really interesting for me. Think about the potential scale. That Life Aid AI projection, an estimated $1.3 trillion saved annually.
Yeah.
Through early detection and better medication adherence.
It's a mind-boggling figure.
It really is.
Yeah.
And the idea it could extend independent living by up to 5 years. I mean, the knock-on effects for things like Social Security and Medicaid demand,
Yeah.
that opens up a huge conversation.
It absolutely does. But
Then you have the other side, right? That really personal story, like Lisa White using AI to create art despite her dementia. It's incredibly moving.
And that brings up such an important point, doesn't it? There are different layers here.
Layers of impact.
Yeah. While the potential for huge financial savings is, well, obviously noteworthy and gets headlines,
Mm-hmm.
it's just as important, maybe more important, to focus on the individual human experience. Lisa White's story, that highlights the human-centered potential here. It's not just efficiency, it's quality of life, meaningful engagement.
Yeah, that's really well put.
Yeah.
So, okay, what does all this mean for you listening right now?
Good question.
Well, these developments, they're relevant to all of us, really. Whether it's thinking about ourselves down the line, or our parents, grandparents, other loved ones.
We might all benefit from these kinds of AI technologies someday.
Exactly. It's about the potential for AI to genuinely enhance quality of life, support independence in our later years, and, crucially, not as a replacement for human connection.
But as a valuable supplement, a
Yeah.
tool to help.
Or a tool.
Which I think leads us to a really critical point to consider as we wrap up this deep dive.
Okay.
As AI gets more and more integrated into elder care, how do we do it right? How do we make sure that the way we implement these technologies really prioritizes the dignity, the autonomy, the individual needs of every single person?
That's the big question, isn't it? Balancing the amazing potential of the tech with the irreplaceable value of human connection. Ensuring it's used ethically,
Mm-hmm. Something to think about.
definitely. Perhaps this has sparked some thoughts for you about the future role you see for AI in supporting healthy aging. Or maybe you'll look into some of the companies or research projects we touched on,
Lots to explore.
for sure. Well, thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like to show your support. Got thoughts, questions, or ideas? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Subscribe and hit the to stay updated on my latest content. See you in the next video.